Hello and welcome to what should be an absolute cracker here in Group G of the AFC Champions League between Jeonnam and Melbourne City here at the Pathum Thani Stadium. It's a lovely day for a lovely match, full of intrigue, and it is pivotal as Group G goes forward. These two met last time out, and it was a victory for Melbourne City over Jeonnam Dragons. But today, as you can see, looking at the table, massive game for Jeonnam Dragons. They've got to win it. In fairness of Melbourne City, so it's all to play for ahead of the game later on. Should be a really cracking atmosphere. It's a very, very, very warm day here in the Pathum Thani Stadium. As you can see, 33 degrees, just a little bit of breeze. But it's going to be warm for both of these sides, irrespective of acclimatisation or home ground. It's going to be a tough afternoon of football. Melbourne City, recently taken over by Patrick Kisnorbo, got a victory against Jeonnam Dragons last time out by 2-1. And it is one of those games now that you just look at the table. Melbourne can do themselves every favour under the sun by getting 3 points today, taking them to 10. And if that was a victory for Melbourne, Jeonnam Dragons, well, they'd only be able to reach 9 points, and they'd be looking at other people to help them out as they go through the rest of the qualifying group. But should they win, they are right on the tails of Melbourne City, just a point behind. That is how pivotal this game is in Group G. Expectations always at their highest. In the world of football, it's a bit of a cliche, considering the terrible times that we do have in our world, but it is the hope that sometimes can cause you the most pain in a game of football. Can we win? Will we win? And that is what we'll be going through the fans. They can do nothing about it than cheer their heroes on. Once the players that cross the white line, once they've been sent out by their coaches, they're the ones that have to do. They're the ones that will get the critique, and they will be the ones that will face either harsh or pleasing words from their coaches. The fans, they can do no more. Often talk about managers and they talk about their backroom staffs, they talk about their football clubs, and it's all geared up to 90 minutes. Everything is geared up to the next 90 minutes. Yes, they enjoy for maybe an hour or so a victory before they look ahead to the next game. The moment is very fleeting, but it can be so satisfying as well. That is what football gives us all. That elation, that joy. And those fans, they'll be urging on the Jeonnam Dragons today. Nice stadium, just the two stands, the main stand which the cameras will be on, and the one away to our left-hand side where there's a little knot of supporters just about 3/4 of the way up. But Australia and Melbourne City, they have been flying in their A-League, top of their table, whilst Jeonnam Dragons are in the second tier of the K-League. So on form, you maybe just favour that Melbourne should have a little too much in the locker. But football is football, and that often encapsulates the word desire and fight. And I'm sure Jeonnam will be looking to get pretty much on the front foot right from the start. That lady's got the right idea. She's got a fan of a fan, which is always a wonderful idea with 33 degrees. Sides will be making their way out very, very shortly.
Jeonnam Dragons and Melbourne City FC.
Pitch looks in fine fettle. A little bit tufty in places. Will that stop the ball from zipping around? We wait to see. The music builds to a crescendo. The players have had their moment of fun in the warm-up, checking everything out. And now it's in the zone time for them both. And I cannot stress the importance of this game for both sides. Melbourne City in the sky blue. Jeonnam in the white. Every sportsman that's played a sport at any level knows that moment before kick-off, that moment before the competition starts. Ever hopeful that they are going to give everything they have within themselves to do the best they can. Giant of a keeper there, Tom Glover, and for Melbourne City, what an apt name for a goalkeeper, Glover. Well, the proceedings are virtually at an end, and now it's time to look at the Jeonnam lineup. They've made 6 changes to the side that lost 2-1 to Melbourne last time. It's going to be a straightforward 3-5-2, we feel. As we can see, Plana and Hee-song are the two that are going to be judged with trying to get the goals. But they have a bit of attacking ability in Sungmin and Ho-jin either side. So they're looking for goals, but they're also giving themselves an insurance policy by playing a defensive midfielder. Melbourne City also have made 3 changes. Our referees today and assistant referees come from the Islamic Republic of Iran. Mood Boni Yarifat and Ali Mirzabegi and Saeed Ghasemi will be the people that are in need of flagging, waving and whistling. And our 4th official comes from Oman, and he is Kazim Mata Al-Hatmi. That's all there, just with the pictures. Melbourne, as I say, they've made 3 changes to their side. They'll be playing pretty much, I think, with... We've got 5 defenders named here. I think the 2 defenders are going to be playing on the flanks either side, and Jenkinson and Jameson. But they've got Metcalf and Gamolka as holders. I think they could be changing this around. They've got Boss a long way forward on that graphic, but he's traditionally a left back. But we'll wait to see. We'll wait to see how it pans out. Many managers are not too keen on displaying their formations before the games start. And Patrick Kisnorbo, I thought in his interview before the game, which we managed to get a little piece of in our ears, was a little bit secretive on the way he was going to set up for today's game. But anyway, that's the way it's going to be. It's a big match, and both sides know progressing here in the AFC Champions League Group D is of all importance. They're going through the final moments, the huddle. And now the players will be hoping for a good first touch, solid first pass, and be looking to make sure that everything they do in the first few moments is absolutely correct. The game plans have been sorted out. And in the first half, it is going to be Jeonnam who are going to attack the goal, I think, away to my left-hand side. Plana there with quite a heavy strapping down the inside of his right thigh. Jordan Boss. Quite some stern faces there, Endo. Nice attacking midfielder for Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let the countdown begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And away we go. No time for questions. Decent ball forward. Fairly straightforward on this near side. Who's going to put their foot on the ball first? Well, I can tell you that it's Melbourne City that conceded the first throw-in of the game. Plana has the ball in his hands. Young Kyung-gun sat impassively Song Jae was a man down the line as well. Does look as though it's going to be a back five for Melbourne City. The two wing-backs going to be pushed further forward. Patrick Kisnorbo. Arms folded. You can do no more now than encourage and give advice from the touchline. Well, Jeonnam getting themselves in a little bit of a state, but it's back to Dassault. That's not a bad, nicely brought down as well. Nice sort of skill there on the chest by Hisong. Gonna get it back. Giving and going, which is a simple pass of football, and doing very, very well. Chance on this near side now. Song is making himself a little bit of a presence. Strong challenge in the middle of the park. The referee has actually given a free kick there. And Tsubasa. Yeah, maybe just a little late. Good call by the referee there on Sato. First chance here for Jeonnam to drop the ball towards the penalty box of Tom Glover. Fairly high line being held by Melbourne City. Suk-young was a man there. Oh, not a bad move, just a little bit misplaced, and that could have been a very good ball there. Suk-young was the man that had tried to pull the strings from that free kick. Jenkinson now with a throw. Helped on there by McLaren. Endo tries to turn it forward, should be straightforward here. Played all the way back by Sung-uk. And Dassault plays it long. A little bit aerial at the moment, but Jeonnam trying to get the ball forward at every opportunity. No problems in that. I know everybody wants to see free-flowing football. Jordan Boss on the ball. But sometimes you have to play to what you have. And I've seen far too many sides try to play football inside their own 18-yard box when the damage can be done at the other end if you get it forward as quickly as possible. Graham Taylor taking Watford from the English Division 4 to the top division on a premise of 2 touches. Good work here, though. Certainly Jeonnam opening up very quickly. Plana. Chance to take on Jameson. Plays it against Jameson. Desire at the moment from Jeonnam is very, very good. Song Jae. His Song just hanging out on this near side. A little bit overzealous there. Taras Kamulka, the man that was a little too clingy. Suk-young is the man that goes down. Again, another chance for Jeonnam to put this into the penalty area. Not a bad delivery as well. Not a bad delivery at all. Just going over the heads of the attackers. Suk-young with the cross into the box. Very tantalising, in fairness. Jenkinson. Tom Gawalka, that's a wasted ball. Melbourne not settling very well at the moment. Tai-un. There's a lot of movement from Jeonnam at the moment. Sung-uk plays it far side. Plana could make something out of the loose ball. Endo in front of him. In the end, he couldn't dance through Curtis Good. Was a spirit opening here. 5 minutes on the clock. Jeonnam have made your commentator look away to his left-hand side more than to his right, which is often a good indicator. Jameson. Now a chance for Melbourne to build. Carl Jenkinson lets it run. Andrew Nabu puts it in, looking for the run through the centre. McLaren doesn't get there. McLaren might have another chance just over his head. Well played by Jeonnam. Right out of a press there from Melbourne City, quite easy. Very technically good on the football as well. Swept long by Sung Jae, planted the target, can't get there. Endo fairly busy at the moment, coming quite deep to get the ball. Jameson. Okay, they've lost possession, Melbourne, and Jeonnam are the man that are making the crisper passes at the moment. Sung Min started that move. Sung Jae, and that's well played. That is lovely play there. Taeun driving forward now. He's sung out to his left-hand side. Taeun with the run all the way through, tried to find Plana far side. Ultimately, the block came in, and it's back with Glover. There's a lot at stake in this game. Can have a very, very big effect on both these sides' Champions League hopes. Melbourne maybe just a little slower on the football, not being given the time. Austin Griffiths, the sort of man on the ball now with the orange boots, looking down the right flank. Nabu trying to get in, that's terrific defending. Well, they've seen a bright opening from the home side. Jeonnam will be hoping to capitalise on this. As any manager will tell you, you want to be making the most of your time on the football. Melbourne may be just starting to have a little bit more time on the ball, but giving it away there quickly. Captain Kim Da-sol comes out and claims it. Jeonnam, a former player. I wonder how he feels. You've got to be a special man to go on to be a coach, but it does take something. Near side break on Taeun. Gets the cross in, that's not a bad one. Plana at the back is the target. Jameson with the header away. Brought down this time by Boss. Boss gets it again. McLaren tries to spin away. Real break on here. Good break near side. Nabu. Hasn't got a lot in front of him, just McLaren inside the penalty area. He's done well to fire a shot in. Da-sol with the palm away. McLaren will try and pick up the pieces. It appears as though the flag has gone up for offside. Not you, Mr. Nabu. You were perfectly okay. I think when the shot comes in and the parry away comes in, it must be McLaren that's gone beyond. And indeed, a very eagle-eyed spot and a very good spot. As soon as McLaren became alive, the flag went up quite correctly. Taeun has kept it in, but the Australians, you can hear them over our pitchside mics, maybe just questioning whether that had gone out of play, but it hadn't. And you play to the whistle. You're taught that as a child. Griffiths. Little give and go there with the midfield. Metcalf. Jameson. Boss. Trying to get out his man. He does well to get round, but that's a good recovery challenge there by Ho Jin. All the signs are that this is going to go all the way. Jameson with the throw. Just starting to pair my thoughts in this game at the moment, and you're trying to wonder if there's going to be one-goal game, where Melbourne City's game plan is, because I can't see it sort of being open. What I can see from Jeonnam is it's about industry, and it's about being busy, and it's about trying to put pressure on, high-speed pressure on. Plana with the header down. Laid around the corner by Sato, but it's given away. Cut out again. And a little bit of an inadvertent one too, but that's what Jeonnam can't afford to do. Calf back to Gamulka out near side. Nabu looking for the overlap, comes back inside. Jenkinson down the channel. Griffiths. Good, and Griffiths just exchanging passes. Griffiths will play it back near side. Jenkinson. And that spirited, lively opening from the home side. Just having the sting taken out of it by possession football by Melbourne City. Metcalf. Well, he's right idea, wrong delivery there. And Nabu not impressed with that. Kisnorbo wants it a bit further down the channel, as you just saw by his indications. Taiyun with the throw. Sanook plays it forward. Jameson picks up the little flicked header. Gamulka. Jenkinson. And Andrew Nabu with a moment he won't want the cameras to have caught. Sadly, we've all seen it. Songjai, it's turned around the corner. It's quite nicely played out again. Taiyun needs an option. He gets an option here. Maybe just allowed too much to come on there, but Sukun was the man that eventually saw himself pick up a throw. Songjai. It's played again. Very willing player, isn't he? Kim Tae-hun. Plana can't keep the ball in play. Well, he can, but it's not kept possession of it. Griffiths. Melbourne just trying to, you feel, get to 20 minutes, maybe just start to impose themselves more on the game. A little bit rattled, I won't say massively rattled, but rattled by the lively opening from Jeonnam. But that's not going to help their cause. Real chance here. Plana was the target. It's a little bit of a poor ball from Sukyung. And now the break is on. McLaren, international for Australia, drills it into the penalty area. Had all the options he had, really. Drill it low, see if he could pick something up. Jameson tries to give an angle on the far side, but it's easily taken off his toes by Ho Jin. Plana does well, retains possession. That's not a bad one. Jenkinson maybe got a toe in, and then the pull on the shirt. A little too obvious. Got the toe on, wrong side of his man. And then I'm afraid his song was given a little bit of a tug. Sukyung to take the free kick. Glover starting position will be interesting. 9 on the edge of the 18. Got to be committed to the one that goes in behind, and he's got to be committed to the shallow one. Very difficult for keepers sometimes to judge this. It's going to be flipped in. Again, it's round the back. It's gone away for a goal kick. But again, the people around the back, it seems like already the set-piece movements for Jeonnam are to hang it out beyond the far post for people to run in around the back. Naboo was the man that covered his run-off really well there. Apologies if you're getting lively language through your headphones, but it is a workplace. And I'm afraid that sort of agricultural language is commonplace there, so I'll apologise for once and a once only. It wasn't me. Metcalf heads it down, laid forward. Song wins the head up. Metcalf not with the greatest clearances. He's helped out by Gomolka. And ultimately, Endo goes to ground under the close proximity of Sato. But in fairness, when you look at that again, Endo's making it as difficult as possible, but almost making a back, you could say, for Sato to try and get round. One of those moments where the perpetrator is actually just honestly trying to get to the ball, whilst the person that's trying to defend the ball is using his might. Where does the law lie? Don't forget, it is association football laws and not rules. Near side. Chance again. Sung Jae. Tae-un. Do knock the ball around well when they get it, but actual cutting edge at the moment has been a little bit lacking from Jeonnam. Playing between the lines this time. Real chance here. And again, Tae-un doesn't get the return. Carl Jenkinson smites it as far away from his own penalty area as possible. Good defending in one respect. It's been a chanceless 18 minutes, and I do like to give you an idea of where we are. I'm looking down at a very good chess match at the moment. Jenkinson gets a little bit on that and needed to. Running in behind was Tae-un. McLaren will try and win this back, but that's ultimately good football by Sato. Sung Jae gets it through. Sato. Tae-un gets the cross in. It's not a bad cross as well. Plana will pick up the loose ball. He's onto his left foot. And the first action towards a goal we've had in the game. It's taken 19 minutes for it to come. It didn't trouble Tom Glover in the goal there. But young Plana deciding to go for it. Not a million miles away. But certainly not enough to sting the palms of Glover. Every goal in a football match is really, really critical. But as this one unfolds, as the seconds elapse, the first goal grows in importance. Really is a willing runner down this near side. Kim Tae-un couldn't take it in his stride. The lofted ball towards and over the head of Jenkinson on this near side is quite... it's not a very big percentage ball, because Jenkinson stands a good 6'2", and that means that to clear Jenkinson's head and pitch the ball down in space beyond him and the touchline is always going to be a little bit of a tough ask. But it seems to be a game plan. Would be interesting to see if they could get the ball into the feet of Tae-un, and he could actually drive Jenkinson along the ground. Excellent strength there by Gomolka. Griffiths. Jameson with a bit of space. Hasn't got a lot of width there. Will get width now. Jordan Boss comes in field. Not renowned for his attacking prowess, Jordan Boss. More of a a defensive left wing back, one would say, and a defensive full back in the majority of his life. Straight ball through the centre, looking for the run. Easy header down, but that invited to challenge. Referees accepted that. I think I'm a little bit with the man that's made the challenge. He's got a yellow card as well, which is, he may feel a little bit hard done by that. I might be completely wrong, but it looked as though he won the ball. Yeah, I would say direction of the ball, he's actually made a good... Ho-Jin's got there, but obviously he's caught Boss at the same time. I'm not going to argue with our referee. He's on the spot, I'm a long way away. But then rub salt into the wound with Ho-Jin getting himself a yellow card. Does feel a little bit tough. But I do have the replay monitor to give me the benefit of hindsight, and the referee has to call it right in the moment. Was the first real chance here for the Australians to put something in on Kim Da-sol's goal. Jamie McLaren and Endo stand over it. McLaren. And the ball does its job. McLaren has to retrieve the situation. May just leave it for a throw. I think that glimpse there from Jamie McLaren, head slightly back, eyes slightly shut. Just shows you what he thought of his own effort into the wall. Jameson into the corner. Boss, Jameson. Tried to whip that through a wall. And now it's picked up and it's coming away with Sung Min. Sung Min with a reverse ball. A very, very good ball in football. Seems to be on a little bit of a different wavelength to Plana out on the far side. Griffiths to Good. Jameson, captain. McLaren to Boss. Boss is in behind. Can he get there first? Da-sol's out. First real chance there. Good work from the keeper. Kim Da-sol got himself out really quickly. Just for a moment there, it looked as though Jordan Boss was going to get himself a real chance. That first touch a little bit strong. It was an inadvertent touch. It wasn't one that he had under control. And in the end, it's a very, very good closing down save from Kim Da-sol. When I say an inadvertent touch by that man in your picture, Jordan Boss, it came at him and went off him. It wasn't one where he could allow it to be controlled. Almost a ricochet touch. But Da-sol was out very quickly at his feet. Break on this near side. Taiyun goes inside Griffiths. That's got support here. Songjai, but again, just a little bit of a delay on getting that ball forward. Now there's a bit of space here. Hee-sung gets it down. Taiyun. Real chance if that would have been played back there. Angle's just cut out though. Melbourne defending very well. Jameson tries to go away. Nice header away by Songjai. Nabu. Gamal Cup. Melbourne just knocking the ball around. They have had a very good season so far in the A-League. And that's not a bad ball. Looking to stretch the play. Well, it's nervy and it's twitchy. As it should be for a game in Group G that can have quite some big implications on the qualifying table. You know, the top one goes through, the second place sides will then be adjudged to go through. Everybody would love the top spot, and at the moment, Pathum and Melbourne both on the same points. It's just goal difference that separates them. I think the flag will go up here. Endo just a little further forward, went on the first break, checked to come back out. Trying to get their midfielders beyond Jamie McLaren, Melbourne City. You feel they've got to get the ball into McLaren a little bit closer and then break on, give them a chance to hold it up. Jeonnam crossfield. Again, the ball just grazing the head, it appears, of Jenkinson to go away for a throw near side. Thinking, working out, checking, cajoling, altering, all those things going on in a coach's mind. Suk-Young gets it back. Well, Metcalf done a good bit of work there, but it's made its way back to Sung-Yuk. Songjai. Sanuk back to Dassault. Jenkinson wins the head up. Nabu hasn't got a lot of options here. Griffiths will be put under pressure, and Glover gets it out to Jameson. Floodlights starting to take effect here. Still very, very warm. Break is on by Jordan Boss again. Well, tied it up. Strong challenge in the middle of the park. Good challenge as well by Sung-Min. Well, it's got me well and truly wrapped up, your commentator here. I'm trying to see who's going to a degree, crack first. Who's going to give the first glimpse and first opportunities? Both sides pretty much. We must say that defending is a very good trait. It's part of the game that has to be done right. Defenders don't get a lot of plaudits for defending. It's always the goal scorers that get it. But that loose touch there is allowing Sung-Min. Sung-Min with a cross. Should be a corner. And it is a corner. First of the game by my little notes down on my pad in front of me, coming in the 29th minute. Let's see what the set pieces can do. Massive part of the game of football now, set pieces. Time for a little bit of 33 degrees. I don't blame him. I think I'd have drunk the whole bottle if I'd have been running around. That man in your picture there taking this set piece. Suk-Un as going short. I suppose they haven't really got massive height inside the box to trouble Melbourne. They've got some fairly strong statures at the back there. Hojin, who's on a card, he's Song. Man, that's just taken the corner. That's a lovely reverse ball. And just enough taken on it. Nabu done the tracking back and just got a deflection on the cross, which killed the momentum. But again, that's lovely feet by Plana. Plana trying to take on Griffiths, and Plana goes together. And it's just managed to get the touch off the Jeonnam player. Austin Griffiths. Plana didn't really get anything on it in the end. It is quiet inside the stadium. You can hear mainly the voices and the thoughts of the coach and the backroom boys. He's Song with a head up. Suk-Un back to the man on the ball now. Songjai. Very neat, very industrious footballers. Jeonnam Just at the moment, though, they've been busy in and around the 18-yard box of Melbourne City, but they've yet to really find a pocket of space. Best chance coming in the game just moments ago for Melbourne City when Jordan Boss went through and forced Dassault to come out and smother the ball at his feet. That is a sweep. Oh, it looked a lovely ball off the foot. Just had a little bit too much on it there. Dayun. I got a thumbs up from the coach as well, though. Kyung Jun Yeon. Carl Jenkinson just taking his time over this throw-in. Nabu the target. McLaren in behind. A little too rugged for the likings of the officials.
Jackson here a bit. Jackson here too wide early. Jackson here. Got a right shoulder. Got a right shoulder.
Again, lofted over the top. You could hear Kisnorbo shouting. Good skill. All his own work. Had a go himself, but dragged it wide there on this near side. Dayun. Jameson to bring it out for Melbourne. Metcalf. There's a little bit of, I would say, a little bit of concern for Patrick Kisnorbo at the moment. Melbourne okay on the football, and then all of a sudden they're sort of letting themselves down. But Jamie McLaren's feeding off scraps at the top of the park for them. They're not seeing a great deal of football going forward. Most of the possession and almost territory, I would say, is going the way of Jeonnam. Although that wouldn't have helped him anyway. Gomulka trying to get away from his man. Griffiths. Good. Griffiths. Completed pass rate will go up, but it's only from side to side. Endo. Boss. Gomulka tries to get away, gets it back to Griffiths. Just a little bit hurried from Melbourne, but they are retaining possession. Thomas Gomulka. Jameson elects to go back to Glover. Griffiths turns. Press a little bit slow getting there, and that's allowed Melbourne to play it out of play, and Jameson with a bit of space now. Endo. Boss in front of him to his left. McLaren through the centre. Boss to receive. Can he put the ball in? What's a deep ball in? Near side Nabu will try and keep it in play. Well, he's done well to save it from going away for a goal kick. Oh no. And the official on the near side said you didn't do well enough. Bit of a head shake there from Andrew Nabu. Showing me a player that won't disagree with a decision that's gone against him, and possibly showing you the only player that ever does such a thing. Played for many years and disagreed with every decision. It's all part of the footballer's makeup. That's all. Lifts it high into the night sky as it starts to fade here. Metcalf hasn't really got that away too well. Referee looks as though he's about to blow his whistle, but Jameson has profited from the loose ball. Jenkinson the target. Andrew Nabu, look, he's so close to that line. Didn't like that one either, did he? Didn't like that one iota. Sung Yai was the man that just gave him a little bit of a clatter after the ball had gone. Perfect defender's fair, that was. Nicely played again. Plana will receive this and has a bit of space to run towards Jameson, but he's very quickly doubled up on. Standing start for Plana this time. Goes outside of Endo. Ojin's got himself a long way forward. Got a break nicely for Andrew Nabu. Loses out though, couldn't go outside his man, and Jeonnam again a little bit livelier. Pathum. Metcalf holds him up, gets it past Jenkinson, falls nicely. The set's there, and that's a terrific block by Thomas, Gomolka and Endo in the end, and the shot slightly lazy from Seungmin. But just for a moment, it looked as though the shot was going to come in from Sokun. I think it's Endo ultimately that gets a little bit on it. That shot there squirts away. Must have taken a slight deflection. We do have a corner, and it's going to be Sokun to take it. This time they do pop it in there, and it's all headed away. Fine shot back in. Set will happen again. Chance again for Sokun. One pass, a little too many there. Always easy from here. When you're down at the level, it's not always easy to see space, and that's why those players are so sought after as well. The ones that can see a pocket of space, a little glance over their shoulder. One tries to get the ball in, wins it back. No handball there. He's got a chance again to lift it in. He's gone deep. Gomolka to Metcalf, who really wasn't expecting it there, but he's managed to pick a pass out, and Nada drives on with Endo. Endo has Boz outside him, feeds him now. Taeyeon is the furthest man back. Jameson joins in. Endo hits the referee. And in fairness, it was yeah, I agree with you there, Mr. Referee. You know, I've got a big red shirt on, and I'm quite tall, and you've just drilled the ball at me, Endo. Anyway, the game goes on again. As I say, each passing second in this game, because it's got such a pivotal place in Group G regarding the points tally and who could be going through and who could be jostling for position in a good position. It's a little bit of a nervy and cagey affair. Rostin Griffiths. Andrew Nabu will get it. It's off the thighs. That just allows a sweet clearance by the Korean side's defensive line. Taeyeon. Taeyeon again. Hee-sung comes short. Sokun. Again, neat and inventive play to retain possession from Jeonnam. Always seem to find a white shirt. They've always got a bit of space. Taiwan. Planner's got a lot of space over there, and not going to keep it in play though. You see from his gesture there that he wants it a little bit flatter. Good to Griffiths. Claren coming quite deep there, off the front line to try and affect the game. Jameson to Endo. Endo to Boss. Melbourne trying to switch it from side to side. Could be a hard pace here for Jeonnam to keep up for a full 90 minutes. Spaces may come later on in the game. Good is good. Jameson. It's a little bit pedestrian, but I don't blame them. 33 degrees, even with the night skies falling, and not much of a breeze. It's a sticky old night, to say the least. One thing I will say, though, if they moan about the heat, if I was their coach, I'd say, well, just pass it crisper and to each other's feet, then let the ball do the work. The line now by Tomasz Gabolka. And it's all too easily picked off. There's a lot at stake in this game, so I wasn't expecting everybody to go gung-ho from start to finish, especially with a place in the tables which can, you know, the pendulum swing. This is a six-pointer in anyone's words. Really, Melbourne not wanting to taste defeat today. They would be more acceptable of a point on the road against a side that are going to be there or thereabouts it towards the end of the season, or the end of the group stages. Bit of space here, though, now. Seung-min. Taeun. Can he get a decent ball in? Bit of space. He's drilled it right across the face of goal. And Glover, caught in two minds to go to his front post and then go out to meet the ball. I think it's Hee-sung that's just in there. Oh, that's a fraction. That could be close to an offside flag, in fairness. But I think Andrew Nabu on this near side, the man that got back, may well just have played that man on. In your picture on side there, Hee-sung. And you heard that. You don't need to be told. Our referee saying to Mr. Glover, I'm watching what you're doing. If you want to waste time, I'll give you a yellow card, quite simply. Maybe paraphrasing what he said, but you heard it clearly. Well, that may just reinforce what I said about a point being a satisfactory evening's work for Melbourne City. But that's a dangerous, dangerous game to play. Taeun goes back to Sung Jae. Again, trying to play the ball in beyond the space. I think that, yeah, Andrew Nabu is certainly not happy with that one. I think the cry of no way tells you exactly what he thought. I'm just glad it was no way. But just to talk about strategic placing of the football. Okay, that's not a bad ball. Let's just see this one out for it. Hee-sung is onto it. Gets some support. Lovely step over. Real chance. Good save by Glover. Real good save by Glover. Wouldn't be sure it wasn't going to creep in at his right-hand post. That step over is lovely. And at the end of the day, Sung Jae's done okay. Maybe just dragging it wide. But Glover done enough to get some fingertips on it. Third corner of this first half for Jeonnam. I'll talk about the space and what may be a good thing, but and I'll tell you what Melbourne are doing well. Ball in, Glover punches away. Really just setting themselves up well here. A little bit of pressure being exerted now. Seung-min, deep ball in. I'll try and explain a little further what I think that Jeonnam may profit from. They're trying to get their runners in behind the back four, back five of Melbourne City. Well, that's, if you can imagine, wherever the back four of Melbourne City are, if they're high on the halfway line, then there's space behind them to the edge of the 18-yard box, which gives you more space to drop it into and to run onto. But you've got to deliver that ball a lot earlier in your own half if you're going for putting it over the top, which it appears Jeonnam would like to do. They are playing short football, but they want to try and get their strikers beyond because of the height, I think, of the centre halves of Curtis Good and Rostin Griffiths. And the higher the line is up to the halfway line from Melbourne, the more chance Jeonnam have got to go in behind. That's just a scoop ball out to Plana now. Trying to go past Jameson. That's good defensive midfield work there. Plana just couldn't get past the doubled up people. Curtis good went across just to make it difficult. And what Melbourne are very aware of is that they're aware that they don't want to give Jeonnam that space in behind their back four, so they're not going any further forward when Jeonnam are on the ball than about 10 yards shy of the halfway line. That decreases the space between the goalkeeper, Glover, and the back four, which means the accuracy of the ball in has got to be even bigger, better and more accurate. Well, the two sides really have cancelled each other out. It is a big game. I cannot stress the importance of the 3 points on offer for both these sides today. And I think you can see that in what has been a very cagey, almost chess match first half here. And it's at the break, Jeonnam 0, Melbourne City 0. Do join us for the second half.
Tommy, talk! One or the other! Fucking away, then leave it!
عالی بود برگشت عالی.
Hello and welcome back to the second half commentary on this really pivotal Group G AFC Champions League game between Jeonnam Dragons and Melbourne City. It's goalless at the break. It really is a nervy affair down there. Both sides sensing what a victory would do. 4 points separate the two sides. Melbourne City beating Jeonnam last time out in the group rounds by 2-1. Both sides aware of what they have. Jeonnam had on the field of play, they've had the words echoing in their ears of Jeonnam in the changing rooms, and now they don't have their final words just to say what they need to do. Possibly the better, the more aggressive of the two sides in the first 45 minutes. Melbourne City maybe a little cagier, maybe struggling just a wee tad to get the ball forward in the right areas, but they haven't also really seen their keeper Tom Glover tested. That's not a commentator's curse for any Australian fans listening today. It's just the fact that any positivity has pretty much been roundly quelled by the Melbourne City back five. I'll run through the two sides for you just ahead of both sides making it finally out on the field of play. We'll start with the home side. They're playing more with a 4-3-3, although the front six players are fairly, what I can say, fluid in their movements. Dasol, the captain, is in goal. They have a back four from left to right of Sonjai, Sunyuk, Taiwan and Ho Jin. He's just the only man on a yellow card in the first 45 minutes. Three in the middle of the park, strung across, Taiyun, Sunmin and Sato. And then the three tasked with trying to make their way through a back five of Melbourne City. He's Song, Suk-Young and Plana. Plana, who hangs out very wide onto the touchline, is always an out ball, but they haven't found him too much at the moment. But there's inventive play by Suk-Young and Hee Song that has called maybe Good and Griffiths in the centre of defence a few little moments to check the runs. There's a lot of industry and endeavour from Jeonnam. And for Australia, in goal, Glover, a back four I'll give them. Jenkinson, Griffiths, Good and Jameson. Then it's three across the middle of the park for Melbourne, Metcalf and Gamulka with Endo, who plays a little slightly further forward. Then out on the left-hand side is Jordan Boss, McLaren through the centre and Andrew Nabo over on the right-hand side. Well, the officials today all come from the Islamic Republic of Iran. Mood Bonyadifat, and here's our referee. Ali Mirzagbegi is one of the assistants along with Saeed Ghassemi, and the fourth official comes from Oman, and that is Kazim Mata Al-Hadmi. 45 minutes that can have a real big say on Group G. Further game to come later on, but this is the one that's happening. This is what's happening right now, and still Dasol has got his troops in a little bit of a circle there, just making sure that they are aware of just how big and what could be achieved with 3 points today. Melbourne now only just making the field of play. Patrick Kisnorbo wanted every second of his allotted time at the break. A few players already out, a few players still to come. It's been a good season for Melbourne. They are top of the A-League, but they are finding Jeonnam a difficult proposition here. Very inventive, very neat, very intricate with their football. Maybe just lacking a little bit of a cutting edge, but territorially and possession-wise, they were the side that took it to their visitors today. Unanswered corners, 3 in the first half, actually, for Jeonnam. Melbourne City didn't really trouble the rear guard of Jeonnam by too much. The Asian Champions League has grown and grown and grown. Champions League competitions all around the world. Massive. We're off the start of the second half. Good lifts it out, looking for Nabu, who wins the header. And that is just swept away by Taiwan. Still looking for those players, I often look for the quarterbacks, the string pullers. It's been a little bit difficult for Melbourne to really create too much. And the difficulty is that they will fancy a point out of the game. If they were offered 1-1 or 0-0 or a point before the game had started, they possibly have snapped your hand off. But that's a dangerous game to play out on the field of play. And with what effectively is 5 defenders in different areas of the pitch, shows you that their primary thought process is not to get beat, in my mind. Nicely turned around the corner this time by Sukyun. Hee-song will roll it back and they will start again. Sato. Taiwan. Plana loves hugging the touchline. You can see that the industry is certainly there from Jeonnam, but Jeonnam won't score goals with just industry alone. They'll need to try and make sure that Mr. Glover, who went down neatly to one side to palm one round the post from the defender of all people that got there. Ball in behind. Jenkinson having a word with Glover there. I think we can take by the look from Glover, just to look away and roll the ball out, that he maybe is aware that he didn't give the call that Jenkinson wanted to hear. Griffiths. To Good. Slow football at the moment. Jameson. Decent ball. McLaren coming short, but can't find another ball beyond. The plus point for any Melbourne City fans out there is that really been ruffled too much, if at all. Glover's been up to everything. Nabu driving forward. That's good feet. That's nicely played there by Sun Min. Taeyeon and Sun Min exchange passes for Sun Yup. They're always willing. I've been very impressed with the Korean side. They're willing to accept the ball. They're willing to find space, which is an emotively tied football fan you'd be pleased to see. Have done games, indeed one yesterday. There's a high foot on Jameson, surely. Doesn't get the verdict, though. Wearing your commentator size, a side really didn't want the ball, and it was quite sad to see for the fans that were in there. Great chance here for the cross-in by Taiwan. Plana will pick up the loose ball. A bit of support here by Sato. Apologies, that was Ho Jin. Played it back to Plana. Quality not there, though, with the final ball in. I have to say, it goes without saying that it is a very hot night here. The sun has gone down. And just for those out there that love a good sunset, that was a cracking sunset over the stadium here as well. Pathum Thani Stadium. Just over the top of the main stand, it really was a beautiful array of colours. Glover finds Jameson. Good to Griffiths. 33 degrees in the stadium, just a slight breeze. I'll remind you, and I'm sure Mr. Kisnorbo, coach of Melbourne, would have said, just make the ball do the work. Jameson looks to go down the channel. The run's on here for Jordan Boss. Gets in behind his man. He's got a chance to find something, tries to find McLaren. But in the end, it's rather easy for Sunjay to clear the ball. Kamulka back to Boss. Griffiths, Jenkinson, Andrew Nabu, It's a very good challenge coming in there by Pathum. Gets caught late as well. He's going to get himself a yellow card. The word of the day there, maybe overzealous there from Andrew Nabu. Chorus of squeals from many players. I can only talk from a distance, but Andrew Nabu looks as though he's a player who's wanting your side. One of those that's always going to give a strong, steely ability. He's got pace to burn as well. Sungmin. The side. Just very elegant players. Sato going from right to left now. Sonjai. Uk. Sungmin. Sayun, maybe the ball juggling didn't help him, but again, very much still in possession of the football. Plana will be the target. Jameson. And Boss will get onto the loose ball, but he'll need support. Curtis good towards Nabu. Just picked up off the turf. A bit of a glare across. Very difficult. Again, the expansive ball. One of those for a player where you really need to get it before the bounce. Okay, you have to take your hats off to Jeonnam. They've played their way out really nicely there. Sun Min gets in near side. Taiwan finds Plana. Endo getting back, but it's going to go inside the Sun Min. And he's thudded that in. And now a real chance for Taiyun to take on Jenkinson. Gets across it. It's a real chance. Oh, as close as we've got to. And still they come forward with Plana. Fizzes it over the top of the crossbar. But all of a sudden, a little moment of real consternation in the Melbourne City rear guard. Rattled in. Hee-sung with a flick again off the post. And it just didn't sit right as it came off the post. Hee-sung loves that flick, that's for sure. He's done two of them now. They've both just gone wide. Jenkinson missed it, and I think in the end, coming in, Ho Jin was put off by the fact that Jameson missed the ball. And yes, Patrick Kisnorbo, that was a little bit of a close thing. And that is a warning sign for Melbourne City. I don't think by any design that they've set up just to grab a point. I'm just saying they might have been accepting of a point before the game with the way that they've loaded 5 defenders in their side to try and quell what comes forward. But sometimes that mindset can get thrown out, and if that ball had hit the back of the net, it would have been difficult for Melbourne then to pick up the tempo and go back to see if they can retrieve a situation. McLaren with the ball, Nabu the target, but in the end, good covering by Sonjai with a cushioned header back. Hee-sung. Sun Min. Maybe a little bit of a fillip there for the Korean side. Well, if you're a Melbourne City fan now, you will be a little closer to the edge of your seats, I feel. Taeun. His song making the angle for him. Everybody's very willing for the football. They're knocking it around nicely. Taeun. Chance for him to break on. Little give and go. That's a little bit of a close proximity fall to the floor, as I recall. Not a lot of body contact, but Melbourne City not helped out by the ref. He just called it right. Jordan Boss has tried to go inside, but this time he is being thwarted by Taiwan. Planner. Jameson comes across. Good comes across as well. Planner's got two for company. Cuts inside nicely. Decent chance here. Excellent defensive work there by Jenkinson. Needed to and did it. Game just opening up a touch here, but I still feel a wee bit for Jamie McLaren at the top of the park for Melbourne City. Not seeing a great deal of service to him. Planner, bit of time and space now. Jameson goes to greet him. Helped out now by Hojin. Not the greatest crossfield ball. A chance now. Shoulder to middle of the back. This time Nabu's the man that's been impinged upon. Bit of a bunt coming in from Sonjai. You can see the graphic and the clock telling you we're into the 58th minute. 32-minute game of football now. What has happened in the first 58? Irrelevant. Now it's all about the next 32 minutes. Sometimes football teams play in chunks of games. They'll be playing in chunks of matches here, both sides. Jameson, Endo. Good to Griffiths. Jenkinson, bit of space. Can he find the right ball down the line? Nabu. McLaren getting excited, making his way into the middle of the park. It's the first Melbourne City corner of the game. And it's something we haven't seen before. And this is a big moment here. Aerially, I feel that the Melbourne City side have a height advantage in places. Good is good. And Ross and Griffiths, Jenkinson himself, all on the large side, tall players. So this will be good to see exactly how this pans out. In the end, it's a little too strong. Referee on the premises, and a break is on. Indeed, the foul is given. Nabu thought he was fouled, but nice again, inventive play on this near side with the breakout. Plan of the man. Difficult to see too much about that, even on the replay. Well, the referee, you can see that dismissive, almost gesture. Going to be some changes now for Jeonnam. And this is a difficult moment, a pivotal moment for their coach as well, because they're going to bring on Kacharava and they are going to take off Park Si-hong. And also coming on there, Iniuk coming on as well.
Player number 24, Pathum Thani, replaced by player number 18, Park In-yuk. And player number 12, Park Ji-sung. Replaced by player number 9, Ika Kacharova.
Kacharava comes on for to replace Hee-sung. Big moments. Going to be a change for Melbourne as well shortly. The game's so finely balanced that changes can disrupt what is the equilibrium of the match. But obviously, Jeonnam, coach, believes that it's now time to try and strike, changing his a couple of forwards in there, Inyuk and Kacharava. See if they can change the movement around a wee bit. Nabu back on the field of play. Oh, that's a late one. That's going to be a yellow. And Taiwan, maybe a little one for taking one for the side there. It's in the opposition's half. And pretty impressive. Tamas Gamolka, well and truly wiped out.
Substitution for Melbourne City FC. Player number 14, Edward Silversa. Replaced by player number 47, Lodi Valadon.
Well, Metcalf goes off and Valadon comes on. Not really much of a change there from Kisnorbo. Maybe the more tactical changes for Kyun Junyon.
Jersey number 5.
Plana gets it forward. Kacharava can't deal with it. Strong challenge coming in by Curtis Good. Ojin back to Taiwan. Here's a man that I've been impressed with as well. Sun Min tries to make things happen. Inyuk. Really is a cat and mouse game. Two coaches with aspirations here for their sides. Kacharava almost sniffed an opening there. As the game sort of groans and creaks and makes its way towards its 90 minutes, you just feel that there's something impending regarding a goal-bound effort here that's going to change the whole course of it. It's the timing that's going to be absolutely immaculate for whoever takes the lead, because it just changes the whole plan. If it goes the way as the home side, Jeonnam, Melbourne will be running out of time to try and right the wrongs should it go that way. They have been pretty much in control defensively, but the one scare that has come really from Jeonnam doing the business. Nabu cuts inside his man, gets the ball in again, looking for McLaren, but a stout defensive work. But giving it away. Nabu with a shot, never really got over the top of it. The Sol has really watched a few things fly high, wide, and not so handsome. Real chance going through. Plana, can he finish? Oh, he's beaten a keeper, but put it wide at Glover's right post. Well, that is a huge, huge effort and a massive chance. And doesn't he just know it there? Leonard Plana opened his body up, got it past Glover. Jameson with a mistake. And that is a little too close for comfort if you're a Melbourne City fan. And that is your reaction there of Jeonnam. Knew that was a presentable opportunity. You can see the way that the containment has been from Melbourne City. They haven't been the greatest of shots from Jeonnam, 10 in total. But they have been getting closer. And this is why you think that as Kasharava tries to get a ball down, you just feel that Melbourne may well go with the old adage, which is attack is the best form of defence, because they're absorbing and they're absorbing, and it only takes a mistake, as you saw from Jameson there, and then Plana was in with a presentable chance. Jamie McLaren up front for Melbourne City. Tongue firmly in cheek when I say this, but the next time he sees the ball could be the first time. He's chased, he's ran, he's made runs, but he's yet to see the ball in the area that he wants it. In here. Plana the target, Jameson the header. There's McLaren midway inside his own half, laying that off. Valadon. Boss goes back to Jameson. I know what it's like to be a football fan supporting your side. I'm pretty sure if I was a Melbourne City fan now, watching this with an emotional attachment, I would quite frankly be thinking, let's not muck around outside our own penalty area. Let's keep possession higher up the field of play and maybe create something. Otherwise, the inevitable will happen, you feel. Jeonnam aren't fashioning, I should say, many chances themselves, but they are getting little glimpses of the uprights. Sonjai. Sun Min. Jameson, captain's armband on, and a big forehead away. That's a face there of a man that, you know, let's do something a bit more than just drop it back. I don't want to keep heading the ball away. Plana. Jameson with a good challenge. Nice bit of footwork there by Jordan Boss. And that ball is rather inaccurate, to say the least. Nabu, bit of space. Ball's got to wait to get to him, and he comes inside. Shot goes in, deflection, corner ball. Now, if you're a Melbourne City fan, just put this in the back of the net. I can sit a little bit more easier for the next 20 minutes. Delivery's got to be right. Taras Gomolka to deliver. He's going to hang it under the crossbar of Dassault. The header away. Valadon. Header into the box. Well, held my breath for a moment there. That was a very good leave by the centre half for Jeonnam. And that's been just taken from Plana by Boss. Boss to Nabu, real chance, Nabu. Good save by Dassault. That's the right end of the field now for Jeonnam fans, and the right end of the field for Melbourne City fans. Good work by Jordan Boss. Lovely ball in. And again, Dassault getting a little bit of a left knee on it. Maybe Melbourne City heard my words. Get it down the other end. Safer up that end, far away from your goal. Corner again. Taras Gomolka goes for the deep one this time. Not a bad ball. In the end, a little bit of arm, judged by the referee. What I love about the officials, and I've got to say it, and I've got to pick them up, they don't get enough shouts. They're all from the Islamic Republic of Iran, but Bonia Difad, the referee, and the two assistants, Ali Mirza Bege, as Plana puts it in, looking for Zasharava, and he doesn't find him. And Said Ghassemi, I've not really had to mention them, such as their performance. Pretty much on it. You've heard comments come up from the pitch side microphones, the way that they've controlled the game from the middle. Jordan Boss. Sato Jameson getting involved further at the field of play. Space for Valadon, but somebody's got to tell him he can turn. Griffiths to Jameson. Boss. Well, it's now Melbourne City's time to enjoy a spell on the football in the opponent's half, which will be more akin and to the liking of most Melbourne City fans now. Jameson makes an angle. Can he get the ball in? He's good. Been led to run onto the penalty area, as you can see. Jameson lifts it in. Easy header away by Sunjay. Iniuk with a give and go. That would have hurt. Cole Jenkinson caught that full on the body. And Iniuk took that right in the face. Would have felt that like a Tyson Fury uppercut. But he's straight up. Good as gold. You can name a few players, maybe in the English Premier League, that might have spent a couple of days down and had a few weeks off of work with that. But Iniuk straight to his feet. A good play by the referee there, noticing that it was a blow to the head. Right on the far side. Tayoun trying to go outside Jenkinson. Jenkinson just stretches a big leg out and puts it out of play. Well, we're moving into the final regulation 15 minutes here. You're moving into a time where any conceding of a goal can be quite critical. And what is a big match here in Group G. Easy header away there. Still Jeonnam probed. Again, a loose ball across the face of the goal. Jameson was inside. Valadon doesn't get there. Very good play. I've been very impressed with Jeonnam. The way that they've picked their passes and found their players. Enoch won't get that. And they just always seem to have a player available. And they do find them, but there's just that lack of final third cutting edge for them at the moment. Well, that's a rampaging run from the back. Good coming out. And walk up. Oh, good take at his front post. Given away, real chance here. Metcalf, McLaren, Metcalf, near side. Boss over the bar. And there is the conundrum regarding wing-backs. The conundrum with wing-backs is as follows. Do you have an attacking wing-back or do you have a defensive wing-back? And when I say that effectively wing-backs are from an attacking side or a defensive side. Jordan Boss is effectively in the trade known as a defensive fullback more than anything as Plata tries to get inside. But that's terrific work back there by the centre half. And what that basically alludes to is it means that when you go away from home, you will quite simply put your wing backs with a more defensive mindset. You know, you're away from home, you're going to accept a bit more attacking philosophy from the home side. And but when that ball goes forward into the final third, you've got a left back in the shape of Jordan Boss, who's trying to drive it goalwards, not like a goal scorer or an attacking midfield might do. Cross from Jameson, Dassault should take quite easy. The general trend, if you're playing with a wing back, is at home it's one attacking wing back and one defensive-minded wing back to give yourself a little bit of security. Away from home, it's easy to go for the two defensive-sided wing backs, which, by and large, I would say that with 5 defenders on the field of play, or designated defenders, in the word of the footballing descriptions, Patrick Kisnorbo sort of just shows his hand as, well, we'll get a goal if we can, we'll go and win if we can, but Kasharava with a flick on. But we also won't concede. But I said earlier on, we're going into a 32-minute game. Well, we're into an 11-minute match now, still 0-0. Anybody can pinch a winner. You do sense there's one in this. And then one side is going to be incredibly crestfallen. Taken on the half turn there, lovely by Metcalf. Just shows too much with that second touch. Knew it as well. Sunmin in here with a spin. Jenkinson. A real pleasure to have playing at right back, Jenkinson, I've got to say. Good stature. Elongated that legs and possibly got himself a bit of cramp. It is a very, very warm, humid night. Look at that. Well, that's all about position timing and using your physical attributes there from young Jenkinson. Well, I think that Patrick Kisnorbo has kicked every ball in this game. He has paced around his technical area as well. Nowadays it seems en vogue to have the sports scientists and all the people that say how many kilometres people have run on the field of play, and perhaps they should have put one on Patrick Kisnorbo. Going to be a change for Melbourne City shortly, and again that change will be, I think it'll have a say on how the next 10 minutes are going to go. Lifted forward, brought down. Metcalf caught late there. Pathum, the man that just caught him on the spin. Glove up, smites his forward. Again, it's not the greatest of direction. Darsol gets it quite easily. Navu sort of thrust his arms downwards. You saw it in the corner of your eye, as though to say that, what can I do with things like that? Anyway, Darsol, all of a sudden it's not pretty football out of the back. Jeonnam trying to get it forward to Kasharava, who they brought on in his second half for his song, just to try and give a little bit more of an aerial threat. Again, it's popped up to him for the flick on. Jameson should get there before Plana. And Boss will find Valadon. Just slightly behind that pass, just killed the momentum going forward, which has left Metcalf with a bit of a job to do. He's won the ball back well. And now a drive on by Nabu. Questions will be asked if this turns into a goal. Nabu plays it in. Good defensive work in the end by Sunyuk. Maybe not the best delivery. Some men orchestrating things in the middle of the park for Jeonnam. Sanjay felt that tackle. It was a fairly lively tackle, but our man on the spot, the referee, judged that it was a strong, fair challenge. Taiwan with the header down. Inyuk quickly smothered over by Gomulka, who gets away the free kick. Do I need to say anything? Do I need to say anything about that reaction? No, it said it all. And our referee acting on the throw of the hat to the floor, being an act of defiance and dissent, just making sure that Kyung Yun Yun sees yellow for his display of petulance at the decision. In a game that was always going to be close and edgy, it has proved to be just that, a footballing chess match. It's been very difficult. Excellent work by Valadon. And the free kick given away. Well, you heard in my voice there. I thought he'd done a good job there, but... Yep, there's shirts on both sides being pulled there, but one the referee's going to see, quite possibly, is Sunyuk, and his shirt getting tucked by Valadon. Big moment now. Big moment in the game. Well, there's a little bit of an altercation down in the corner here with the Melbourne City substitutes. And the referee's assistant on the near side. If you need any measure of just how nervy and tense and how pivotal this game is, you can see it there. Sonjay has gone off. Replaced by Ho Kang. Big moment now. One good delivery. Fair play to the Australian backroom staff there for pulling that man away. Whipped in. Glover punches away. Good pace by Jeonnam. Valadon's misjudged that. He's going to get back to win it a second time, though. And Jameson, with a measure of calmness, finds Metcalf. I should say McLaren, sorry, not Metcalf. Boss inside to Valadon. Valadon, Jordi Valadon. Now he's helped out by Metcalf. It is now becoming ever anxious for sides now. Jeonnam will now be feeling the tension of what they've been trying to do. McLaren's crossfield ball has given it away. Any chance is going to be pretty priceless now. Kolakowski is coming on to replace Nabu. Nabu picked a card up back in the 51st minute. Now it's going to be managing the game for Melbourne City. The game plan has been pretty much bob on throughout of it, and you would be hopeful that they might have sparked a little bit more consternation in the Jeonnam rear guard. They are certainly quelling with most of the stuff that's coming forward. A couple of narrow squeaks in this second half as Jameson hooks it long. Nicely headed down by Sun Yuk. Sun Min gets it far side. Taiyun, who's gone a little bit out of the game since an impressive first half. Sun Min puts it forward. Plana. Tries to get it back in. Spin there by Boss. Gets away from his man. Always good footwork. He gets dragged down in the end. A little bit of a body swerve. Making Sun Yuk just pop his arms across the body. How big is a goal in this match? I cannot think of a word big enough for the goal that could happen in the next couple of minutes or in time added on. It would be huge, gigantic, mammoth for both sides. Metcalf. Decent run here. Boss into the box. Longs it back. First effort he's had. And he puts it in the back of the net. McLaren has found a goal on 89. He hasn't seen the football all day. And then when he does see it, he pops it in the back of the net. And that face, that picture, that Sol's face tells the absolute story of this game. Almost, to a degree, a snatch and grab. But the goal comes from Jamie McLaren, who basically will just go off the field of play and say, I saw the ball once and I scored once. Great work by Boss. And McLaren, he wasn't going to miss that. Had a little bit of space, fired it low. With the man on the ball there, Jordan Boss. Well, he's the boss. He has been very industrious, shot in the side net in this time from Plana, opposite end. I said it would be mammoth, gigantic, gargantuan, huge, enormous, whatever it would be. But Melbourne City, with that strike, if it stays that way, will go on to 10 points. Jeonnam will only be able to attain 9 points. What a devastating blow for that man there. Kyon Yun-yon. And Glover smites this long. One of the biggest moments coming in the game is the board that will go up for time to be added on. I can tell you unequivocally that Patrick Kisnorbo will want very little. And Kyon Yun-yon will want as long as possible. 3 additional minutes, about the average for it. Inuit will try and get this. Jeonnam will feel a little bit of grief. They have come close to causing real problems for the rear guard and Tom Glover of Melbourne City. But good sides, well, they win ugly, and that is what I would say Melbourne have done today. Jordi Valadon takes it forward. Not a great ball though. Kasharava, who was brought on to add a little bit of height to the forward line for Jeonnam, has not really seen the accuracy of balls into him. He goes up again. This time out-jumped by Good. McLaren, Valadon, Metcalf, Valadon. Channel ball, looking for the run, and he has been a never-willing runner, hasn't he, Geordie Boss? Near side platter. All eyes will move on to the next game in this group, which comes up a bit later. And if it stays this way, they will be looking for the bottom side, United City, to take some points off of Pathum United in the next game. Otherwise, it could see the end of their hopes of qualifying. There's a chance here, it's in! Kasharava gets the equaliser, and Tom Glover will look back and think, what have I just done? 93rd minute, and Tom Glover came a long way from home, and Kasharava with the easiest pops it in. Glover really long way out, not a great one, and Kasharava just scoops it in. But whilst Melbourne City players fall to the ground in disbelief, what they can say is a point wasn't ever going to be a bad result for them here. But to have two taken away from what has to go down as a goalkeeping error is a little bit, I should say, galling to say the least for the Australian side. Card there for Kolakowski. Still into the final few seconds. Well, we waited a little bit, like they say, for a bus, and then two come together. Kasharava with a chance to get onto it again. Glover retains himself, pulls back in, Glover's out of place. Real chance here, Melbourne City, all of a sudden, as nervy as you like. And the referee says that that is enough. Blows the whistle on a game that went toe-to-toe. More pugilistic than knockout blows, but it did look as though the knockout blow had come late on in the game when Jamie McLaren saw the white round thing for the first time after a cross by Geordie Boss back to him. He dragged it past the keeper lovely for 1-0, and Melbourne City just had to see out the last few moments of the game. And then Tom Glover came up with a glaring error. Ball into the box, he came a long way, his punch wasn't good enough, and in the end Nika Kasharava put it into the empty net. It finished here in Group G. Jeonnam Dragons 1, Melbourne City 1.